This show is sponsored by Audible. Fans of It Matters can get a 30-day free trial of Audible Premium Plus. Stay tuned for details. Hello, and welcome to It Matters How We Treat One Another, the social science show. I'm your host, Matthew David Vasco. If you've subscribed to this show on YouTube or your favorite podcasting platform, then thank you. We are grateful for each and every one of our subscribers. We are also thankful for our patrons on Patreon. Your support helps to make this episode possible. My guest this episode is Dr. Elizabeth Rosner, affectionately known as Dr. Roz. She is the inspirational leader behind the L.O.V.E revolution. Her mission is to teach 8 billion people to love 8 billion people one heart at a time. I guarantee that she will make you want to transform your life in some very meaningful ways. But first, our inspiring news. If inspiring things are happening in your neck of the woods, then please send us a direct message on one of our social media accounts and let us know. You can find us by our show name on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. This episode's inspiring news is from whatsthegood.news. The headline reads, "The number of people living in extreme poverty fell from nearly 2 billion in 1990 to 0.7 billion in 2015. That downward trend is inspiring news indeed, because it means that more people can afford the basics of life, including a balanced diet and a roof over their heads. It also touches upon something that we covered a couple of episodes ago with our guest, Michael Nagler. He spoke about how important it is for people's well-being, for them to have meaningful work. It's hopeful to think that more people the world over are having fulfilling work in their lives. I suppose that we don't all love work, but it's certainly better than living in extreme poverty. It's also worth mentioning that the report cited by whatsthegood.news is only as recent as 2015, and another decade has passed since then. Economic reports continue to show that more and more people are being lifted out of extreme poverty each and every year. So, things are looking up. Again, if you know of inspiring things happening in your area, then please DM us on our socials and let us know. Thanks. Up next is our feature segment. But first, this show is sponsored by Audible. You probably already know that Audible is an outstanding source for audiobooks. But did you know that Audible is also an amazing resource for guided wellness? It's true. And fans of our show can get a free month of Audible Premium Plus just by clicking the link in our episode description or by visiting the podcast page at matthewvasco.com. Again, that's a free month of Audible Premium Plus by clicking the link in our episode description or by visiting matthewvasco.com and clicking podcast. And now, our feature segment. Dr. Elizabeth Rosner, affectionately known as Dr. Roz, is a visionary leader and the heart behind L.O.V.E Revolution. Through her work, Dr. Roz seeks to inspire and empower individuals to lead with love, compassion, and nonviolence. L.O.V.E Revolution encompasses a range of initiatives, including DebtFreeDegree, Leading with Love, and being a Nonviolence 365 trainer for the King Center. By integrating these elements, Dr. Roz offers a comprehensive framework for personal and collective transformation. Her mission is teaching 8 billion people to love 8 billion people, one heart at a time. Discover the power of love centered leadership and join her love revolution today. Welcome, Dr. Roz.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Matt. I am so honored and so delighted to be here. I love your podcast. I love your page on Facebook. I love your mission. I love your heart. I am truly so delighted and so honored to be here. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm flattered. I feel the same way about you. So it's a meeting of the minds here.
Yes, absolutely. Meeting of the minds and the hearts.
That's right. I love that. Well, let me just dive right in.
Yeah.
When I was getting to know you, I saw on your website that it says your mission is to, quote, teach 8 billion people to love 8 billion people. I just admire that so much. I mean, we really need more love in the world, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how do you go about putting your mission into action?
Well, Matt, it is very much an alignment of a mindset and how we are how to be heart centered. And particularly here in the United States, we have a lot of division. We have a lot of polarization. As of this recording, we're in the midst of an election season. Today is election day, and so it's one of those things where there's so many people out there who are spending a lot of energy drawing lines that say you're in and you're out.
Mhm.
And so 8 billion people loving 8 billion people is there is nobody in or out. If we all love everybody,
Right.
then and I have a faith tradition, and I've not met anyone with a faith tradition who disagrees with this statement. And for me, I will never look into the eyes of someone that my God does not love.
Mhm.
Every single person on the
Amen.
planet, we are all such miracles.
Right.
Every single one of us. And every single one of us has a purpose and a passion and a reason for being here. And so whether or not we come into any kind of alignment on in terms of, our faith tradition or, our politics or whatever it is that we do professionally, we're all here for a reason. And the minute that we can stop saying you're in and you're out is when we start really creating this collective good.
Trying to get 8 billion people to love 8 billion people truly does sound like a love revolution
Yeah.
to me. That is revolutionary, right?
Yeah.
That would be so world changing if we were able to make that happen.
Yeah.
What is leading with love exactly?
So, in that, it's a coaching package that I offer, and I speak on that. And in that, and I did not come up with this acronym, so I'm using it from somebody else. But LOVE stands for letting others voluntarily evolve.
Mhm.
And I recently gave a tour at the King Center. It was a friend of mine that I met online, and she does these civil rights tours through the South. They're from Minnesota. And she asked me if I would meet them at the King Center and just kind of walk them around and tell them my story. And I shared with them, for those of you that are listening on podcast, I'm white. I'm from the South. I'm from Athens, Georgia. Graduated high school in 1988. And at that time, our high school was 50% Black. So I was taught implicitly and explicitly that I was graduating into a post-racial society. There was no more racism. There was, no more inequality. Everybody was good to go. See, your high school is 50% Black and 50% white. So there's no more problems. And I was also taught implicitly and explicitly that the Civil War was about states' rights, not slavery.
Mhm.
So fast forward, I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about that because it was pervasive. I learned that in a lot of different spheres, including academically, both in high school and in college. And so fast forward, there were some things that I had done, but fast forward when my son was in ninth grade, he was studying the Civil War, and he said, we're studying the Civil War, and I said, now that is it's not fought over slavery, but about states' rights. And he said, Mom, the states' rights to do what?
Mm.
It's like, huh. And God gave me the type of brain that, Matt, when something comes into my brain that doesn't fit everything that's already in there, I don't immediately reject it. Now, I think most people, that's their mindset. Something new comes in, it's conflicting with everything that's already in there, and they just immediately go, "Well, that's not true." For me, I really needed to sit with that. I was like, that really doesn't make a lot of sense, and let me investigate that. And that's what set me on my journey of what I call unlearning and relearning.
Mm.
That eventually led me to the King Center.
I see.
So when we say love, leading with love is letting others voluntarily evolve. There was a form of Elizabeth that believed that the Civil War was not fought over slavery, but about states' rights.
Uh-huh.
And there's the addition of Elizabeth today that believes differently, that's done a little more studying, that's done a little more looking around. And so if I can evolve, then everybody can evolve. And so letting people do that and loving them through that process is it's what leading with love is all about.
I gotcha. I gotcha. How, what is the first action you would recommend to an audience member who wanted to start practicing the principles of leading with love?
I would say the very first action is that understanding of that agape love, to understand that it's unconditional. So it's not like, oh, Matt was so kind to me on Facebook and Matt sent me a very kind email and therefore I'm very kind to Matt and then I'm going to extend Matt some love. No, it is Matt has a spark of divinity in him.
Mm.
And just based on that, then you receive agape love. A lot of times people will throw out figures that are relatively polarizing and divisive and say, but can you love that person? Absolutely.
Mhm.
Do I like some of the things that they say? No. But do I
Mhm.
love them? Absolutely. And and so it's that making that decision, it's a choice because a lot of people, Matt, believe that agape love is an emotion. And I had somebody ask me one time and she said it like her shoulders were so stooped forward and she said, "Dr. Ross, how do you carry all of that emotion?" I said, "Oh, it is very easy because it is not emotion. It's not emotion, it's cognitive.
Mm.
Do you have a heartbeat? Yes. Do you deserve agape love from me? Yes. Do you deserve agape love from the other 8 billion people on the planet? Yes. Check, check, check. Real easy. It's
Yeah.
just so easy. And so you begin by, certainly in your sphere of influence, but oftentimes the people closest to us, we kind of have layered on, different types of love. So if we have a romantic partner, then that's conditional. If
Mhm.
we have, this brotherly love, then that's conditional. But sometimes we have to go kind of outside of our closest sphere to start practicing and looking for ways to practice this agape love. So a couple of months ago, I was in the grocery store and this cashier was wearing a name tag. And it was it was not a name that we see very often in the South. I don't know that I'd ever seen that name. I wasn't entirely certain how to pronounce it. But I attempted it and I was like, "Well, how are you doing today?" And I attempted the pronunciation. His head whipped back at me. He said, "I've been here 8 hours and nobody has called me by name."
Mm.
That's all it takes. That's
Right.
all it takes. That's all it takes. For those of you that are on video, you can see my manicure, and it's a rainbow, so I have a different color on every finger. And I did it about 3.5 years ago because I was going on vacation and my niece was going to go, and I thought she would think it was fun, And so I thought, well,
Uh,
that'd be cute. We'll go on summer vacation and whatever. Get back from vacation, and I'm at this event where there are a whole lot of people there who come from a particular faith tradition that says if you love somebody that's of the same sex, you're going to hell and you don't deserve to be married to that person. So I was in this group of people, and somebody's child saw my manicure and came out to me.
oh, wow.
And I thought, if that's all it takes for someone to be safe, but to feel safe. So for 3.5 years, I've always had rainbow manicure. Now my son's getting married in March. I'm not sure I'm gonna have rainbow then, but other than that, I will have this rainbow manicure. So it's figuring out right this minute what is the next right thing I can do to extend agape love.
There you go. That's a beautiful way to be. Um, Many people feel overwhelmed by global problems. How do you instruct them to channel their frustration and anger into collective love-based action?
That is such a fabulous question. I love this because the collective is where the power is. Because if there are days that I'm feeling, oh, just the weight of the world is really hard, I can reach out and go, well, Matt, what's working for you? And you can go, oh, let me tell you
Mm,
about this great love center thing that I'm doing, and it's so invigorating. One of the things that my dear friend, my mentor, Dr. Vanetta L. West, often says is, it is far easier to fight for what we're for than to fight against what we're against. So for me, that's how I overcome this inertia is because it is entirely possible for me to look around and go, oh my goodness, the world is on fire. There's so many problems and it is very overwhelming. And then the social media and all of that's coming at me. So things are really, really difficult. I'm just gonna like put the covers over my head and just go to bed. It's also one of those things where I get to choose where I'm putting my focus. So I have a really good friend of mine who she and I have known each other about 5 years. And I started realizing that every time we were together, I was so depleted by the time I left her presence. And she and I agree like almost 98% on things. And so it wasn't that we were not seeing things from the same perspective. And I couldn't figure out why I was always so just despondent when I left her presence. And
mm.
then I realized it's because she spends about 90% of her time fighting against what she's against. And so
Oh,
our conversations were constantly like, well, Elizabeth, why are you not fighting against this? And why are you not showing up to fight this? And what do you mean you didn't sign up to do this, this, and this? Because we've got to make sure that that never happens. And it was just constantly head on a swivel because she was constantly inviting me to fight against
I
something.
see. Mhm.
And that's not where my flow is. My flow is let me fight for what I'm for. On my website is drroz.love. So all my pages end in love. And I have a page on there called Heart Sighting. And so people will send me pictures. I'll take pictures. And if I see hearts in nature or hearts on a sign or something like that, I'll take a picture and put it on there. And my good friend Betsy Clark talks about reticular activation system. So what we look for, we find, and then we keep looking for it and we find more of it. And
Uh,
so if I look for hearts every
uh,
day, then I'm looking for opportunities to love. I'm
right.
looking for opportunities to be heart centered. I'm looking for opportunities. What brings me back to love? Oh, a heart. So I'm driving and I see a big cloud in the shape of a heart or whatever,
Mm,
and so it's a beautiful perspective. So if you look around and you go, oh my gosh, trying to think about the world collective is too hard. What do I do? Okay, just bring it back to you.
mhm.
Then what your role is in that world.
It's a beautiful way to be. I mean, it's certainly keeping love at the front of your mind, right?
Right, 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 right.
I try to be a big promoter of love and kindness on this show's social media, and I try to do it through the show too. Hopefully, I do. Still, sometimes I can't help but feel like hate is winning.
Hmm.
What might you say to someone who feels like hate is winning?
Hmm. Hmm. It a little bit goes back to what is it that you're looking for? Because you know what? If you want to believe that hate is winning, guess what? If you want to believe that love is winning, then that's what you'll believe. One aspect of Love Revolution is debt-free degree. So I can map any college degree here in the US completely debt-free without student loans. And one of the students at one of the college fairs asked me, what is your success rate? And I said 100%. And she said, what? And I was like, if you believe that you can graduate completely debt-free, you'll do it. And
Mhm.
if you believe it's too hard, you'll be right and you won't do it. So either way, like if you
Yeah.
believe it. And so if you believe that the world is full of hate and I just had a conversation with someone, again, this is somebody I've known 15 years, and she said because of this and this, then our country is doomed to failure and we're on the decline and we'll probably, we'll be gone in, X amount of years. Okay. Well, Those are not my metrics. You know, those are the metrics she has decided define what is and is not successful. And she's looked for those and she continues to find examples of those. So she continues to be in this spiral of the world is ending. The world as we know it is ending. Our country as we know it is ending. So, you know, and I have a lot of people too, Matt, that will say, you know, there's kind of this pervasive line, sort of, I don't discuss politics.
Mhm.
For me, politics at their root are policies.
Okay.
And so you and I can discuss policies. I very rarely discuss politicians, but I absolutely will discuss policies because policies impact all of us. Because if I believe that we're all interconnected, if Matt is unhoused, if Matt doesn't have clean water, if Matt doesn't have access to food, then Elizabeth can't thrive. And so that is that deep understanding of interconnection.
I see. So you would say I should maybe think about shifting my focus a little bit then to look for the love.
Look
Look
for
for
the
the love.
love. Look for love
Okay.
because what you look for, you find.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to look for the hate, now here's the thing. You know, if anybody spends 5 minutes investigating you online, you're going to find the love. You're going to find the kindness. So, you know, you were saying, you know, this is what I hope to do. You 1000% do it. I mean, your page is amazing on Facebook. And the way that I found you, and this is how I know that this is true, is because the way that I found you is Facebook fed me your page.
Mm.
Somehow, some way, I was interacting with some other love center things, and your page came up, and I actually commented on a couple of things, and then I got a notification that said, "Hey, would you like to follow this page?"
Oh.
So I had already interacted with you before I ever started following your page, and it was because of algorithm. And
Oh.
algorithms are real things.
Mhm.
But we get to determine our algorithms. Because if I wanted to, you know, go into the world is on fire and OMG, what's going to happen? And, you know, the future is so bleak, I could have found that too on Facebook. And then
Sure.
Facebook
That's
could
true.
have fed that to me. But instead, it was like, no, no, no. Hashtag heart sighting, leaving heart prints everywhere. Da, da, da. And then, oh, let me feed you this most amazing page. It matters how we treat one another. And it does truly, truly matter how we treat one another.
What would you say to someone who wanted to join you and help be a leader of the love revolution?
First
What
of
would
all,
you
I
say
would
to
say
that person?
welcome. Welcome, welcome. Let's reach out. You know, they certainly could reach out to me and we can have a conversation about what does that look like. But they could all do. I mean, anybody listening, you can just say yes right this red hot second. You just absolutely say yes. Um, as Matt has mentioned, I am a certified trainer with the Martin Luther King Center, and Dr. King. The reason I named my company Love Revolution is Dr. King has a quote, and it is a social movement that moves merely people is a revolt, but a social movement that transforms both people and institutions is a revolution.
Mm.
And love is revolutionary. Matt, the work you're doing is revolutionary. And so, for people who say, I want to be a part of transforming what we see now into something better, then they can just say yes. So there are a lot of things obviously they can do with me, but also with the Martin Luther King Center. So we have an online course into nonviolence, a very deep dive into nonviolence. It's $199. I actually had the joy and delight of being the project manager for that course. So every single video, like when you see Ambassador Andrew Young on there, I was sitting there while he did his videos. It was an amazing experience for me. But we also have translated into 6 additional languages. So 2/3 of the world now has access to Kingian nonviolence. That's one
Wonderful.
way. The second way is if you go to kingcenter.org/be love, there's this whole movement about what does this mean being love. And you know, people will say, well, what can I read or what kind of mantra or whatever can I have? Well, we have a be love pledge that people can sign and say yes, yes, I've taken the pledge. But also, I mean, I just copied and pasted and printed it out because I'm old and I like to have things, you know, printed out for me. People can, you know, do it on the on their phones. But one of the lines is I pledge to allow love to drive my thoughts, words, decisions, and actions and honor the humanity of every individual. If you want to join the Love Revolution, make that your daily mantra. Make that what you go out and do into the world, and you're a member. Let's go.
Beautiful. I want to do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, good, good,
What's
good.
say that web address again?
thekingcenter.org/belove, BELOVE.
Okay, excellent. We'll make sure that we get it into the show description too.
Great.
What's the biggest resistance you face when introducing the idea that love should be the central operating principle of business, government, and education?
Laughter. I mean, the people that don't see it, they're just laughing like, she's so stupid. She's so weak. Bless her little heart.
Mm.
She's from the South. She doesn't know. She's not very bright. She doesn't know what's going on. Matt, when I was 5 years old, I was at summer camp. And I don't know if you remember Shrinky Dinks. Do you know what a
Oh
Shrinky Dink?
yeah, I love
Okay,
Shrinky
so
Dinks.
I did a Shrinky Dink at 5 years old at summer camp, and it said, God is love, love is God, to mom and dad and Catherine from Elizabeth. So Catherine is my sister. And my mom had that on her bureau from the time I got home from camp, gave it to her like, decades later. And about 2 years ago, I said to my mom, we were having a conversation, and I said, when you're no longer here, that will be the first thing that I take. And she goes, Sugar doll, you just go on up there and take it now and you can just have it. And so it sits on my desk because it's important to me that I know that at 5, before the world came in, I knew that God was love and that love is God. But then the world comes in and the world is like, "Ah, love is weak and love is passive and love won't work." Let me tell you something, Matt. We have tried violence. We
Mm.
have tried hatred. We have given it a good college try. We have tried in lots of different spaces, in lots of different countries, in lots of different languages, under lots of different policymakers. We have tried hate, and it is not getting us what we want. Let's try love.
Right, right. Really give it a try. Really
Yeah,
give it a try.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose you're going to face a lot of cynicism,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, yeah,
there is definitely a much brighter future if we all lean
yeah,
toward love.
yeah. But
Yeah.
here's my cynicism face when somebody goes, "Oh, yeah, war is the best way to get to peace."
Mm.
Yes, we can bomb our way to peace. Absolutely. That absolutely works. Really? Does it really? Is that really where you want to go? And so it's just getting people to think about things. And again, going back to that, what I call a human algorithm, if we're constantly surrounded by one message and that's all we choose to let in and that's all we choose to believe, then we're going to be really firm in that. But if you can just open just a little bit and go, I never really thought about the power of love. What would that look like?
Mm.
And then just start an exploration.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a beautiful journey to go on.
Well, I am currently on it, and yes, it is beautiful.
Well, in that vein, can you share with us what the long-term, say, 50-year vision of the love revolution looks like and where you hope humanity will be once your mission is fully realized?
I would love to say it'll be in 50 years. I don't know. I mean, it'd be great if it was in 5 years. I do not know. But Reverend Josiah Royce coined the term beloved community. And then Dr. King and Mrs. King really brought that forward in terms of a concept. And Mrs. King said that the beloved community is realistic and achievable. It's a spirit of goodwill without boundaries or borders. And so what it really boils down to the 8 billion people loving 8 billion people. As quickly as we can get there, the better. And I was just speaking with somebody who was talking about he had a lot of terms a lot of statistics that I didn't quite grasp. But basically, he was saying if we have 3.5% of the population in a collective, you were talking about a collective earlier, who is all thinking about things in the same way, we can change things. And so, and this person's mission is much more on kindness. It's Kevin Smith of I think it was the World Kindness Week or Kindness Week Worldwide. I forget the name of his organization. He's amazing. And and I thought, well, that's so invigorating. 3.5%. So if you can envision you're not a utopia that's unrealistic and won't exist, because we're going to have conflict, but it's resolving the conflict with love. And from the Kingian perspective, resolving the conflict with nonviolence. And so really being able to say, we don't we don't have war anymore. We don't have hungry people anymore. We don't look around and go, well, I don't really like you because of your skin tone. How much melanin do you have in your skin? I don't like you. It's looking around and going, again, you have a heartbeat, you have dignity. We're delighted you're here. How can we best get everything, all your goodness out of you for the collective good? So, and if you, there are people that don't necessarily believe in, the vibrations and, people vibrating at their highest selves. But I have an amazing business coach, Julie Miller Davis. She did this activity with us. And so she sat with us. We were at a mastermind in person, and I was the first person to go. And she sat across from me and she said, okay, what is your big, hairy, audacious goal? Like, what is your big, big vision? And I was
Mhm.
like, 8 billion people loving 8 billion people. She goes, okay, go bigger. It was like, how do I go bigger? And so
Right.
I
How do you
said
get
a
bigger
couple
than
of things
that?
and then go bigger, go bigger. And so she kept saying it. And so finally, where I landed, Matt, was astronauts are orbiting Earth, and the entire Earth is vibrating at purple because every single human on the planet is operating from our highest, best self.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's thinking big.
There we go. 50 years. We can do it.
Big and beautiful. I love it. I
Yeah.
think that's a wonderful note to end on. I think it's a
Okay.
beautiful vision, and let's let's uh let's all lean into that. Let's
Yeah.
all, put our best foot forward and
Yeah.
try to create a future of love on planet Earth. That's beautiful.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I always enjoy doing something fun with all of my guests.
Yeah.
And I mentioned it to you in our email exchanges, and
Yes.
that is the Feel Good Five.
Yes.
All
Yes. I'm here
right.
for it. I'm down. I'm
I
ready.
love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Five rapid fire questions to
Okay.
learn about what picks you up, makes you feel good.
Okay.
Here we go. Number one, what is your favorite feel good song?
Right now, it is Love is the Answer by Aloe Black.
Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's a kind of an older song, but I love it.
Okay. What is your favorite feel good movie or TV show?
This might seem a little odd, but I'm going to say The Grinch. I
Hmm.
love the original Boris Karloff. I love the Jim Carrey version. I love the animation version, the or illumination version. I love all three of them because the Grinch was born with this beautiful heart. And then the world came in, and the world was like, nah, 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 nah. And they bullied him. They were not kind to him. And, one version, he was adopted by some people and blah, 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 whatever. Things happened to the Grinch. And he
Mhm.
decided, I'm going to be mean and hateful. And because people have been mean and hateful to me, I'm going to be so mean and hateful to everybody else. And I'm going to take stuff from people. It's just going to break their will. And then they go, oh, Grinch, it's just stuff. And then his heart grew and grew and grew,
Yeah,
right? Letting others voluntarily evolve. If the Grinch can evolve, every single one of us can evolve.
beautiful. What helps lift you up when you're feeling down?
I have my counselor, my therapist is Leith McHugh, and she had me right when we started working together, which was about 4.5 years ago. She had me create a document that is what is true about Elizabeth. And I don't know how many pages it is now, but when somebody says something kind, then I put it on there. Or if there's an accolade or something like that, I put it on there. And so when things are rough and I'm like, what's going on? Oh yeah, what is true about me? And so, and I've seen other people do it where it's a good thing that happened to me today is. And so they just, they make it their challenge to add something every day to that list. What is one good thing that happened today? So when they're having a bad day, they can go back and look at that list. So either one of those, what's true about me or what good thing happened to me today?
Ah, very good. What gives your life meaning?
Love. It really is. I wake up every day. How am I going to love on somebody? And my metrics of success are obedience, love, and connection. So at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, that's how I'm evaluating, how I'm spending the 24 hours I'm given today. Was I obedient to my higher power? Was I loving to myself and to others? Did I connect with others and did I connect others to others?
It's a lot to do in one day.
Sometimes, honey, I can say yes by 10 o'clock
You
and
got to be exhausted.
AM. And then sometimes it's like, oh, Elizabeth, did you connect anybody with anybody? Did you, I fall short every day too. So,
Okay. And finally, what inspires you?
that is also love. Is also love. Love is that thing that the more you do it, the more you get back. So if you put a little love into the world, it just comes back to you. I mean, again, I am sitting on this podcast with you because algorithms fed me your page and I made a comment and you kindly responded. I
Oh,
mean, that's how beautiful it is. And that's not been that long ago, listeners.
that's true.
From the time that happened till the time you're
Yeah.
listening.
Well, I honestly can say that love drew us together
Yes.
because, I was posting about love and you were loving on my love
Yeah.
posts and then I
Yeah.
loved your page and yeah,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
was definitely love that drew us together. So that's
Most
good.
definitely. Most definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to ask about your shirt. Does it say Dr. Roz on it?
It does. It does. It does. So I have a designer. Her name is Sierra Flybobo, and her website is JuneMarieBrand.com. And she and I get together and we design. I have about 10 or 12 of these jackets. And so they
Wow.
all are some kind of love centered. I've got a few over here because I do a lot of videos and I'll batch my videos. So I've got a couple of jackets over here that I wear and but yeah, I have about 10 of them and 12, I don't know. But anyway, and it's so interesting because one of my best friends, I did not realize she and I went to the same dry cleaners. And I had ordered 4 new jackets and I took them to the dry cleaners to, get them steamed. And as they're going around, my best friend saw them and she said, those are Dr. Roz's jackets. And she had not, because they were brand new. So she had not seen those designs, but she knew that was me. And so when
Oh,
I went in to pick them up, the guy, the owner of the dry cleaner said, "Oh, and your friend, the one that wears the scrubs." I was like, "Yes." He said, she saw your jackets." I was like, "Yes, yes, yes, yes." So, that's when you know that branding is really, really good. So,
there you go.
yeah,
It's
Fly is
working.
amazing. She does amazing stuff, and she's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, it worked on me. I just noticed it while we were
There we
talking,
go. Thank you.
and I
Thank
had to
you.
ask about it.
Yeah.
That reminds me, you have a book out, don't you?
I do. I do. I do. It's called Debt Free Degree. And it is how to graduate without student loans while getting good grades, having tons of fun, and landing your dream job.
Mm,
So it's how people can avoid, student loan debt, and it's all based in Kingian nonviolence. How can we make individuals and communities better? And one way is for you not to spend your income post college on paying back loans, but spending it in ways that you want to spend it that are beneficial to you. And as I mentioned earlier, I can map any degree completely debt free.
wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, people need to check out your book then.
Yes. Yes. Check out the book, check out the website, join the Love Revolution.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being on, Dr. Roz.
Thank you, Matt. You are a love and a delight. And thank you for all the love you put into the world. And may it come back to you a millionfold.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks.
This brings us to the end of this episode of It Matters How We Treat One Another. Thank you to our guest, Dr. Roz. You can learn more about Dr. Roz and her work at drroz.love. That's DRROZ.LOVE. Please subscribe to keep up with all of our episodes, and you can support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/itmatterspatrons. That's patreon.com/itmatterspatrons. It Matters patrons. For less than a pumpkin spice latte at your favorite coffee chain each month, you too can be an It Matters patron and help make our show happen. You can also support us by shopping our Etsy store at etsy.com/shop/It Matters merch. There are links in the description. If you want to help feed hungry people in Gaza and around the world, then please visit WFP.org and give to the World Food Program. That's WFP.org. They are not sponsors of this show, they're just a cause that we truly believe in because combating hunger is so vitally important. Your quote of the week is, quote, "Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend." That is from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And remember, treat everyone with the core four values of kindness, respect, empathy, and compassion, and try for love and acceptance whenever possible. Be well, and much love to you all.